Good morning, students and faculty. Thank you for allowing us to enter your classroom today, even if it is remotely. I'm Tina Thompson with the Toma Chamber and Visitors Center, and today we're basically here to talk about manufacturing and some of the opportunities that are available. There is question and answer open. Teachers, if you have questions from your students, please feel free to type them in, and Mrs. Pierce here will go ahead and feed those questions through to us as appropriate. But we're going to go ahead and get started. We have some of our area manufacturers here. We might have somebody joining us that's running a little bit late, so excuse us if there's a little bit of an interruption, but we'll go ahead and start with introductions. Mike, I'm going to go ahead and start with you at the end here. Can you tell us a little bit what your company is, what the nature of your business is, what your position is, and your name?
Okay, all right. Thank you, and thanks for the invite to participate today. We're really excited to be here. My name is Mike Belmonte, and I'm with Mitotech Precision out of Nacita, Wisconsin. We are a machine shop. We have about 75 employees, and with a variety of different jobs and positions. We started about 60 years ago and making simple parts for our customers. Now we're into some really high precision, really state-of-the-art parts that we make for our customers now. So we're really excited about what we do, and we're really excited to have you guys learn more about our company.
Thank you. We'll move on to you.
My name is Aaron Arnson. I work at Cardinal Insulating Glass in Toma here. We have about 350 to 375 employees, and we make insulating glass units for the residential window market. Our major customers are names like Renewal by Andersen, Colby, Andersen Windows, stuff like that. We have 5 shifts that we run currently out of our facility. And Cardinal Glass has been around for about 60 years. The Toma facility specifically just over 35 years. Yeah, really excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Really excited to answer any questions or talk to the students today.
Thank you. Gina?
Good morning, Gina Anderson. I'm Safety Coordinator at UFP Industries in Warrens, Wisconsin. We are an actual very large company. We have over 150 locations. At our current location, we have roughly 55 employees, and we run multiple different products from retail to construction to industrial. We build pallets, we build stuff for stores, casings, concrete forms, you name it, we build it. And we are really good about promoting from within. Even our CEO used to cut grass at one of our facilities in Grand Rapids. So that's really great. That's about it.
That's a great story. I love that. I love seeing the career pathways and how people can really progress within an industry. That's a great story. Obviously, we all know that employers are looking for workforce. So let's talk a little bit about maybe what you're looking for in an ideal employee. And maybe Aaron, I'll start with you this time.
Sure. So at the most basic level, what I tell everybody in our new employee orientation is, if you can be at work on time with all your gear and have a good attitude, that's like a 95% solution, right? And the other 5% to me is just job training, which we're gonna give you while you're working at Cardinal. So that at the most basic level, and then like you said, you know, if you show up on time with your gear and a positive attitude every day, for our company, really the options are limitless. There's multiple areas you can work in. So we have production, right, and then we also have like maintenance technicians who are more on the electrical mechanical side. Mm-hmm. And then even our plant manager started working on our washer crew, just going around cleaning the washers in the facility over 30 years ago. So there's great opportunity to progress after you start at our facility.
Thank you. Gina, how about for you?
I completely agree. Those are all really great points. Just making sure that you come in, great attitude, ready to rock and roll, wanting to train, to learn more, being hungry to be better, make the company better. We also have a lot of availability to be promoted from within. All of our supervisors, our GMO, myself included, have been promoted from the floor up. So the sky is the limit, whatever path you seek, whether it's manufacturing or if you want to be in the office, doing HR, or if you want to run out your own plant someday. I mean, that is the sky's the limit.
And I would guess with some of your businesses here that have multiple locations, there's opportunities to cross transfer to other plants or see other areas of the, United States, if that's what you're wanting to do, and maybe transfer to different locations based on what opportunities are available too, I would think.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mike, why don't you talk about your ideal employee for us?
Okay, so at Mitotech, we work really hard with our employee group, and it is very important that our culture is good. And so what we look for is for new employees or our employees to meet the core values, being adaptable, creative, driven, thorough, and reliable. And again, the reliable piece is showing up to work on time and being part of the team. We're really big on working in teams and teamwork. So I mean that's really key to our success, basically, the employee success and our success. And again, you can't fake the driven part. I mean, being driven and wanting to, get to the next level and help your company out. That's really very, very important.
And now, I think when we were talking earlier, kind of in a sidebar, you were mentioning you have youth apprenticeships available?
Yes.
Opportunities?
Yes.
How would someone start down that pathway if that was something they were wanting to explore?
Yeah, so at Mitotech, we like to give tours for people that are interested in understanding and what our company does. So we'll do individual tours, we'll do classroom tours where the class can come in. We just started doing some virtual tours. So that's how you get to kind of know, do you really want to come in and investigate Mitotech? The other thing is if you want to take it to the next level, youth apprenticeships is really good. And we've done youth apprenticeships in engineering, and a really strong engineering program. And then also in our machining and our production area. So again, getting a hold of your school counselor and finding out more information about that. Reach out to us. We'll give tours. It's a really good pathway because you kind of get to see a lot of different things within our company, not just in the production, but shipping, receiving, because we do move people around, the youth apprenticeships around. And then if you like it, you can move into, we have our a Wisconsin registered apprenticeship program, so you can continue into that pathway. And we've also done we call it earn and learn. So you can come and work for us and go to technical school, and we'll pay for some of that technical school. So there's a really good opportunity to advance and grow and get to the nice wage that some of the people already are making. We've connected with a student 5 or 6 years ago. Come out of the technical school. He started working for us. He's one of our highest paid employees now, just because he's able to use what he learned and then put it to practice.
And now, Aaron, you also have youth apprenticeship opportunities as well, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So we have apprenticeship opportunities available mainly in engineering areas, maintenance and engineering. So, but it all starts the same way, right? You get a hold of us somehow, whether it's through your school counselor or just walking in the door, going online and applying online, and then commenting within the forum that you're interested in the apprenticeship program. And then once we get you in the door and we give you a tour, like he was saying, we can kind of dial in where your interests are and then start to figure out where you might best fit. within our organization. But again, it all starts, you just got to get a hold of us some way, and then we'll figure out the rest. He brought up a good point. Once we can figure out the right fit for somebody, we usually do a lot of things within our company to make sure that employees are going down that path. So we have a similar story where one of my employees, he decided he wanted to go to school. So we worked with him on a tuition program through Western Technical College, and he got certified, and now he's been promoted into technician status. So he works in the maintenance program, but he's one of the most sought after individuals just because of his knowledge that he individually sought out, and we were able to support him through that to get him to that point. So it's really a good story.
I love the story of creating pathways for people and those employees that have that spark of interest in exploring other fields and finding that pathway that fits for each individual. That's a great story. A couple little things that I've kind of captured here that I think are of interest possibly to our students is, we've mentioned engineering, we've mentioned mechanicals and janitorial, everything. Can you talk a little bit, and I'll start with you this time, can you talk a little bit about the wide variety of opportunities that are available as far as positions that you have? I mean, I think a lot of times we understand manufacturing as assembly, but we forget that there's HR and technical skills and all those things that are along with that. So I'll start with you, and you can talk about your opportunities.
So I'll talk about safety since that's my favorite. So one of the things that our company has done is the safety person kind of stopped. You get to the top of the rung at your plant, and then that's kind of it. So one thing that UFP has done is they've developed a ladder for our safety people. So you've got 4 different sections that you can, ladder rungs that you can climb from, safety coordinator 1, safety coordinator 2, and they broke that up so that you have somewhere to grow. And then after that, we have a regional safety person. So it's like that in our business across the board, from working from the plant floor to being a supervisor to wanting to be a cycle counter to being a plant manager from a PMT position to a GMO to moving to corporate or wherever. Because part of our appeal, I think, is being able to move to, hey, I want to move to Colorado. Hey, we have plants in Colorado. I can take my job. I can take wherever I'm going and grow there. And you mentioned HR. So there's different office admin and human resources. And you know what? I really want to grow myself and go to our corporate office and be a HR person over a whole section of plants. So the possibilities are really endless. And one of the ways that we help our employees do that is through our degree program, which I'm actually personally a part of at this time. So what they do is they give us what would be an equivalent of a business degree. And we talk about marketing, and we've talked about customer service, and we're talking about risk management and all those real life things that you're going to deal with as you become into the workforce. And a lot like what the Western program does, all of our instructors are UFP employees that can give us that real life situation. So it really doesn't matter if you want to be a floor person to a forklift driver to running our company someday. We can really help set that path for you. You just got to let us know where you want to go.
Awesome. That's great. I love that story.
So at the most very basic level, we have production employees, and you're doing various tasks along the insulating glass lines throughout our facilities, but there's many options available within that. So there's probably 8 or 10 jobs just within that process that any given employee can do. So a lot of options there. And then we also have maintenance technicians. So this is along the lines of those folks that are oriented maybe mechanically or electrically, and they want to, they really like problem solving, right? And they like digging into issues and helping fix things and getting their hands dirty. So we have those positions as well. And then what we really like to talk about is a lot of the shifts that we have available. So I say we have 5 shifts, and people often question, well, how does that work? Because usually the traditional setup is 3 8-hour shifts, and there's only 24 hours in the day. So how could you possibly run 5 shifts? But we have 12-hour shifts. So one week you work 2 days, 12 hours, and the next week you work 5 days. So you still get your work weekend plus a little bit of overtime in there. But you're getting plenty of days off in the meantime to do the things that you need to do, whether it's things you enjoy or take care of family stuff, stuff like that. And then one of the other things that one of our goals as a company as a whole for Cardinal Glass is to make our process virtually touchless. And we're currently expanding our operation. So if you've driven by our facility in the industrial park back there, you've seen that we're expanding our facility over to where the Cardinal TG building used to be, and connecting the buildings and installing a lot of automation right along the lines of those folks that are oriented to a lot of the engineering type things, or things where you really have to start working with computers and math and engineering, stuff like that. So people think of our process, they think about glass, and it can be sharp, and I don't want to get poked, I don't want to get cut. Well, we have all sorts of safety measures in place to make sure, and protective equipment in place to make sure that we are doing everything we can for our employees, but we're also doing everything we can to make the process touchless, so that really our employees don't have to touch the glass. We can make our units without having to put our employees in any sort of risk. So we really take pride in that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I love how the technology has really just elevated all positions within the business. It's interesting.
Great. Very similar on the production side. I mean, we have 4 or 5 different positions on the production, from entry level assembly to a top setup machinist and whatnot. So there's a lot of opportunities on the production floor, but there are a lot of other positions that make the company run. You can't just do it with machinists, but you got shipping, receiving, you got IT, you got accounting, you got the HR processes, all that. So I mean, it's the whole team effort that does it. So whatever your passion is, that's we can get you a little bit of that, and then you can grow in that. And one of the things I wanted to point out, and good companies are here, but in the central Wisconsin, Juneau County, Monroe County, I mean, there's good jobs here. Mm-hmm. And if you don't work for our company, but there's other good jobs here, you just got to kind of grow into that, because it's very and people love to live in our area, but these are good jobs so you can grow into it and then raise your family, and it's just an excellent opportunity. So I mean, if you come and see us, that's great. If you go and see somebody else, that's great. Just learn what's here, because there's a lot here.
I'm going to touch on this for a second, and I hadn't intended to, but you make a really good point. There's a lot of efforts at the statewide level right now to really showcase our lifestyle here. It's slower than living in, Chicago or metro areas. We don't have 30-minute commutes. We don't have all that stress of high traffic and this and that. I heard a statistic the other day. Over the course of the last 5 years, there are 100,000 people leaving Illinois for various states because of wanting a different lifestyle for them and their family. And that number is astonishing to me. Wisconsin used to be at a level where we lost about 14,000 residents a year, specifically out of the UW and education system. And we've, over the course of the last 5 years, brought that number down to about 5,000. So we're attracting some of those people in from those areas, specifically the St. Louis market, Chicago market, those kind of things. So tangent there, sorry, but you hit on something very interesting. I want to touch on quick wages and benefits, because I think our students are probably sitting here wondering, well, okay, can I have a lifestyle? Is this something where I'm going to have to work 3 jobs? That kind of thing. To put it in perspective, and this will date me, my first job out of high school was a minimum wage for several years before I was able to elevate a little bit. And that's not the case. And there's so much opportunities available where you can work one job and have great benefits. So Mike, I'll start down with you again, and if you can talk about kind of wages, benefits, packages, that kind of thing.
So our entry level starts at like $16.50. A top machinist could make $27, $28 an hour. And our benefits When you first join us, you're single and you're concerned about probably less about benefits, but you can get into our benefit program, but it grows with you as your family grows. So that's really good. So we take care of all those benefits from health, dental, life insurance, all that type of stuff. So again, we're very excited that, over the last 60 years that we've employed so many families from the area to, start out and then as well as grow with our company, and as well as their families are growing too. So I think that's very important.
And do you have a retirement program, did you say?
Yeah, well, we have a 401k through Fidelity. So again, when you're young, you don't worry so much about it. But again, they say, just put a little bit of money in, and when you're young, you get a lot at the end. So it's just fantastic.
Always really important to touch on. I think retirement is probably the last thing from these guys' minds, students, but it is so important to start saving while you're young.
Yeah, so I mentioned production employees earlier. So our production folks start at $17 an hour, and then within 1 year, you're at $18.50 an hour. So you work up incrementally to that $18.50 mark. Within your first 90 days working for us, if you have good attendance, you will earn 1 week of vacation, and then there are increases in your vacation allotment based on your tenure with the company over the course of the years. If you're working in our maintenance department, the pay starts at $21.50, and then throughout the first year you work up to $23 an hour because that's a little higher technical competence required to work there. One of our biggest benefits in terms of money is profit sharing. So we do monthly profit sharing from day one at our facility, and it's a real thing, right? A lot of places advertise profit sharing, but it can end up at a zero any month. We average over the last 10 years 30% profit sharing, and what that means is every month you take the amount of money you made, all right, you take 30% of that, and you get an extra check for that money. Okay, now it still gets taxed and all that stuff, but it's a nice bonus, or it's a nice added benefit on top of your hourly wage. So we try and tell our folks not to depend on it, treat it as an added benefit because it is. And then I mentioned our shifts earlier, so a lot of varying shifts: night shift, a second shift, first shift, which is your traditional 6:30 to 3 hours, and then the 12-hour shifts, which rotates each week. So you have your built-in overtime, right? So that's time and a half, and then you also have guaranteed 5 days off every other week, and you're really only working half the month when you're on one of those 12-hour shifts. So we do also offer your traditional healthcare benefits, and then a 401k plan too.
Very cool. Gina.
Perfect. So we offer the traditional medical, dental, hospital indemnity, all the traditional insurances, the 401k. We have stock sharing options, purchase programs. We have incentive programs for attendance. If you come to work, you get extra money per month on your check every day if you don't miss work, or if you're not late. We have a good catch program, so if you help us find safety issues out in the plant, not that there's a ton of them, but just if there's banding on the floor, if you just see something that doesn't seem right, we reward you with monetary that way. And then we have a piece rate program for anybody that doesn't know, that you get a goal for the day, and if you make product over that goal above and beyond, you get added on your paycheck for that as well. So there's all kinds of different benefits.
So I think part of the story that's being told here is there's truly opportunity to leave high school, and if you're not interested in pursuing secondary education or education after high school, you can certainly find opportunity to really hit the ground running as far as wages, benefits, not worry about health insurance, not worry about some of these things that you would have to in other occupations or fields. I know, Dawn, you told us the time is ticking down here. Do you have any questions, or is there anyone from the audience that has questions for us?
There are no questions yet, but please feel free to type those into the Q&A and send them our way, and we'll get them answered.
Thank you. Until we see a couple pop up, I just want to kind of open the floor here. Is there anything else that you'd like students to know that we haven't touched on, or something part of your story or your company's history that you're particularly proud of that you'd like to share? I think it's, important. I think we all come to work wanting to contribute and, feel something more than just getting a paycheck. Is there a part of your company you would want to share that you're particularly proud of, or anything like that?
I guess I'd just like to reiterate the fact that we're expanding, right? So we're a healthy company. We're expanding our operation here in Toma, right? So you can plan that we're going to continue hiring. There's going to be continued opportunities for growth within our company. And we really love to develop our own folks inside of our organization. Like I said, our plant manager started out on the washer crew over 30 years ago, and now he's the plant manager. So there really is limitless opportunities. It's really just dependent on how much you want to do and what you're willing to do while you're working there. So
Awesome.
So for Mitotech, so when I did my introduction, I said we're a machine shop, right? So, what does that mean? What do we make? So we don't make our own product. We make other people's parts that go into the products. And so we really like to make the parts that matter. And so we make parts for EpiPens, needleless injection systems. We get into the firearms. We make sights for firearms. One of our biggest growth in the last year was we're making silencers for guns. So we'll machine them, we'll assemble them. So it's really kind of, fun stuff that we're doing. And in the last year, we've, invested, we haven't had to build onto the facility, but we've added a lot of high-tech machines, CNC machines, that does most of the work. And again, you need higher skilled technicians for that, to set them up. But again, you grow into that. So I think it's just really exciting, the work that we're doing and helping the community out and whatnot. We made, last year we made parts for ventilators for the COVID patients. We don't make the ventilators, we make the parts, the precision parts that make them run. So we're really excited about that.
That's very exciting.
We do have one question.
Okay.
Do you have websites or a place we can get more information about your company?
I think everyone here probably has a website. I kind of stalked y'all beforehand. There's certainly easy ways to find the employment opportunities available on each website. And maybe just say what your website is quick.
So our website is vitotechprecision.com. So you can go out there and see the equipment that we're running and the neat things and again, you can get to the career page to communicate with us and all that. And then we have a really big presence on Facebook. So if you really want to see what we're all about, go to Facebook, because we try to keep that pretty active.
Sure, it's a good spot to kind of get your personality at.
Mm-hmm. We have a social media presence, so you can find us on Facebook. If you just type in Cardinal IG Toma, it'll pop up on our page, and then you can actually apply or do some research on the Toma IG facility. From there, it'll take you to our own webpage for our facility. And then for Cardinal Glass Industries, Cardinal Corp, CORP.com will take you to Cardinal Glass Industries homepage, and then you can drill down into any one of the subsidiaries of Cardinal Glass, us being the IG division. You could find our plant that way as well.
And IG is insulated glass.
Insulating glass, yeah.
And then how about for you, Gina?
Okay, so UFPI.com is our main web address. We're on Facebook as well. So if you type us in, you should be able to find us. We're advertising on Facebook, and you can click a link and go right to our website.
And we kind of skipped over you here. Was there any part of your company story that you didn't get to share?
Just make sure that when you get out into the world, if you have core values like your family and stuff like that, just remember, especially with our company, we're a family-oriented company, and just grow and learn and get out there and do as much as you possibly can, and, contribute to your community.
Awesome. I guess just a final note, certainly I think anyone here would be open to answering questions if there's something that comes in later. You can either filter those through Mrs. Pierce or myself, and we'll be sure to get those questions out and answered for you. Wanted to thank the school district for allowing us to have this platform. Some of you may remember we've done this in person in years prior, and just kind of trying to adapt to a new normal right now. But thank you to each of you for being here. We were lucky to have 3 representatives in person today, but there are many manufacturers in our community that have similar stories and similar opportunities available. So I encourage you to explore manufacturing and all the opportunity available in that field. So happy Manufacturing Month.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, students, and please feel free to come see me in room 243 or 245 if you have any questions about any of these opportunities or any of the businesses or people that you see today. Thank you.